call me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Song 43, a podcast for those of you looking to get a deeper look at how this creator creates while being a mom, working full-time, and doing all the things. All the things this week involved being really sick with strep, which I haven't had in probably 20 years. It kicked my ass. Sunday, I crawled into bed at 3 o'clock. I didn't feel like crawling out of bed again until like Tuesday midday. And that was with antibiotics going. Thank God Eric had the presence of mind to say, I think you probably have strep. Because while I had a raging sore throat, I always have a sore throat when I get a cold, but I had a fever, I had body aches. I was freaking, it was bad. So thank God for antibiotics and that I'm not allergic to any of the penicillin type things, because good old fashioned penicillin is working its magic in my body right now, and Blake's body right now, and maybe Eric and Ellie's body soon, because we're all getting tested and making sure that we're not going to spread that joy for Thanksgiving, because nobody needs that, right? Can we catch a break on the health train? That's what I'm looking forward to in the coming weeks. Because the Davidsons have had a rough few weeks. Everybody has. The world is fucking on fire right now. And I am trying to just find a way to plug away and plug through it. And so here I am. This is what you're getting if you're watching right now. It's not super cute. But I'm here and I'm late. Normally I put the podcast out at 6 a.m. This is becoming a trend and I don't like it. I'm not liking that at all, that I'm late, but here I am on Wednesday, the eve of Thanksgiving. So let's talk about Thanksgiving, because it is an incredible time of year for me. I love it. I love the holiday. I love the food. I love the more people, the merrier. I usually host. I'm not hosting this year. And so I'm ready for that. I'm ready to unplug. I'm ready to take a step away from all the things as my thing just dings at me. And, just take a break from technology and chill. So I hope you're doing that. I hope that you're eating all of the things that you want to eat in any quantities that you want, and living your best life. What's your favorite thing to eat? Tell me about that. Shoot me a text. Say, I really love blah, blah, blah for Thanksgiving. For me, well, I really love it all. But you know what I really don't love is turkey. And yet we fry one every year. And it's a process. It is a very expensive process because peanut oil is very expensive. So, anywho, I don't love turkey. I love stuffing. And I love like a bag of Pepperidge Farm stuffing turned into stuffing. I'm not fancy. I don't need some like dressing or nuts and crap put in there. No, keep your nuts out of my stuffing. Yes, I said that. Okay. Nuts do not need to be included in anything really, unless it's like a bowl of mixed nuts. Okay? Just, that's my preference. I love mashed potatoes. I love cranberry jelly. And I love cranberry relish. I love anything cranberry, really. But don't put nuts in it. I hate it when people do that. I think I made myself clear. So what do you like? And what do you have to have at your Thanksgiving table? For me, it's pumpkin pie. And I'm really excited to be sharing Thanksgiving with my sister this year and my mom and that part of the family, and doing the traditional things and hoping to not be sick or get anyone else sick. But I'm well on the antibiotics train and everyone else will be too, so we'll be good. Music-wise, I've not been sleeping super great, as it can be imagined, because I've been ill. But I did have a song come to me last night just as I was drifting off, and I haven't listened back to it yet, but I'm excited to, because it's about my daughters, and I haven't been able to write a song about them. So I'm hoping that I can dive into that and actually turn it into something. So that'll be something worth exploring over this holiday weekend and having this little break to maybe do some creative things. And also explore how to promote this podcast a little bit better, get some more eyeballs and ears on it. Because it's something that I'm still super passionate about and that I just don't feel like I have enough time to properly market and promote, because there's whole things that you can do. I just did a workshop with Elsie Escobar, a Shore webinar, on how to get your podcast to the next level. And I'm sitting over here going, wow, I feel like this is imposter syndrome because I don't have the time to take mine to the next level, but I have all the tools to do it. So if you want to listen to that, I'll put that in the show notes because it was really fun to talk with her. Elsie is an incredible leader in podcasting. She is the co-founder of and co-host of She Podcasts, and they do She Podcast Live, which I've talked about on the podcast before. She's just a force. And she's so funny when you go to her website and when you see what she says. She's like an introverted extrovert. She's super private, but she's like really loud and like excitable and wears bright colors. And, you know, I could totally relate to that because I am very similar in many ways. So it was great to chat with her and talk about Shure products and talk about podcasting and talk about how we could kind of get more, you know, gears turning and working to help promote podcasts. And hopefully it inspired some people. So if you want to take that little workshop webinar thing, you can by clicking the link. And so I'm finding that creativity, as it always is for me, kicks up in the fall. And so I'm hoping to just kind of be able to pay more attention to that. And had a conversation with Mark, my producer, just the other day, kind of a moment of realization where it's like, this album is not going to happen in January because we've both had no time to work on it. And it's sad. It's defeating in a lot of ways, but it's real. You know, it is what it is. Like, we are full-time working people who have commitments and families and all kinds of things. So there's no time crunch. I don't want to rush it, but I do want to get it out because there's music on there where I'm like, okay, this is something I'm super proud of and I want people to be able to hear. Hoping to get maybe a single out by January. That's the new goal post that I've set for myself. So if you listen to the pod and you're like, you said January, there's good. Yeah, I know. Goals are meant to be set and achieved. But when you're going through all the things in life, you just can't always get what you want, to quote the Rolling Stones, who I'm not a huge fan of, but it's accurate. Mick, you nailed that one. Can't always get what you want. If you try sometimes, you get what you need. I sang a gig with Fake ID. Speaking of that, we sang that song. And yeah, it was an interesting gig. It was in a restaurant called the Sinclair in Fairfield, which was beautiful. Very cool, unique venue. But it was a long way to go. And yeah, I can't really do that on a weekend, or excuse me, on a weeknight anymore. I learned that much. And I don't recommend driving down to Fairfield on a Thursday, but it was fun. And we jammed in a very small space and made a lot of noise and made a lot of people dance. And there was a couple in front of us that made out for a solid 3 hours. Not even lying. I mean, I think they took a breath like 3 times. It was gross. But more power to them because they were enjoying themselves, I think. So that happened. We had dancers. We had lots of good people watching. And what else? Yeah, played a ton of songs. And that's what's cool about playing with that band is that we get playing and we just go. And then we take a break and then we just go. So it's kind of a blur. So I did that. And then I had such high hopes of meeting up with the Vintage Teas on Monday, but I was so sick, I couldn't. Had to cancel a few things this week. That was a major bummer. But thanks to the magic of COVID, I was able to pivot to having Blake's conference on Zoom. So that was helpful. So one of the good things that came out of that horribleness, you know, that's the world we live in right now. It's like we're still asking the question, is it in person or is it virtual? We're that far past yet still close to that time that we all went through. But I was grateful to be able to do that and hear about our Blake, who is just doing a great job. And I'm so proud of my girls because Ellie, for those of you living in Guilford, they don't have a lot of homework that happens at the elementary and 5th and 6th grade levels. It doesn't really kick in till 7th grade. And it kicks in hard. Okay, so Ellie has been navigating it so beautifully, but being really hard on herself and feeling overwhelmed by the amount of homework that she has. Because from going from 0 to 2 hours a night, that's a lot. So she's got straight A's, A pluses in some, and she's like, I just want to keep it that way. And I can see the pressure already building in this poor little soul. And I'm just like, we just want you to be happy and adjusted and, feeling like you are doing your best. And that's all we want. So I'm trying to promote that. And it's hard because, I had a dad who was like, if I got a B plus, he'd be like, why isn't it an A? It motivated me, but I didn't like it. So I'm trying not to do that. Not to, bash on dad, but, he made me always reach for perfection just because I think he was taught to do that. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So Ellie's back dancing, which is great. No more pain in the ankle. So watching her dance around the kitchen again just makes me so happy. She was still doing it in the boot, which was always making me very nervous. So yeah, she's making strides, pun intended, towards getting stronger every day. And just, I'm trying to keep the pressure off so she can be a kid and not worry about these things. And that's what she's struggling with. So that's what we're navigating, the tweenage parents that we are. And with Blake, just making sure that she's feeling supported, which I feel like she's probably alone a lot because with Ellie having dance after school and with us working upstairs, she comes home and it's just her. So, there's that balance too. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate when you have your kids and your commitments to your job that pays the bills. You sit up there on conference calls and you're like, I'd rather be downstairs with my kid, but I have to work. So how do you handle that? For me, it's usually just muscling through and letting them know very clearly that I am at work until 5. And it sucks because I'm right upstairs and you can hear me, but got to kind of respect those boundaries. Because if I was working outside of the home, they wouldn't be able to just walk in and have a conversation with me. So I have that blessing of working from home, but it is a curse at the same time because they come home and you want to be with them and you can't. So anywho, I'm going to cut this one short because I'm about to have a coughing fit and that's not comfortable for anyone. So I just wanted to hop on really quick while the day was still Wednesday to say thank you for being here. Share it with a friend. I'm so grateful for all of you today and especially on Thanksgiving. So I hope you have a wonderful holiday. And as always, thanks for listening. Just call me, honey. If you please, just call me, baby. I'll be your fantasy. I need your loving.